So my name is John Awbrey, though I tend to go by Mikey, even in the professional world. And I'm currently a senior systems engineer for RADA USA. It's a company that builds the cutting edge of radar systems. My role there actually has been very unique and is really a culmination of the unique part of my career. I came into cybersecurity from control systems, which is kind of a very different field from your traditional cybersecurity approach. And I've really kind of built on that. The CEH helped me get into cyber and validate my skills there. And it's kind of culminated in me doing this kind of OT, operational technologies approach to cybersecurity. So the CEH program caught my attention because when I first started doing cybersecurity, I really didn't realize I was doing cybersecurity. As I said, I was in control systems. I was actually working for Polaris Industries at the time. And while I was doing control systems work, I was just figuring out ways to get the data I needed to continue to do my work. And very quickly, through some clashes with the IT department, came to, my attention that I was doing things that were really out of the norm, right? I was essentially penetration testing our equipment and hacking our equipment to get this data. So I started looking for a program that would help me to understand how to do that correctly. And a certificate that would really illustrate that, yes, I know that I'm going to be doing things that are against the norm, but I want to do it in a way that is correct and legal. I knew I was lacking those skills, so I knew I needed to get it, and I wanted to find a certification that showed that I had those skills once I gained them. So the primary benefit CEH has had in my career has been really getting my foot in the door. A lot of various government positions for the DoD require things like a Sec Plus, A Plus is an older cert that you still sometimes see, or a CISSP. CEH is also on that list, and for most of the roles that fit what I'm looking for, CEH is a direct just checkbox for a lot of the positions I apply for. So the ways in which the CEH has been recognized in the organizations I've worked in and in the industry I'm part of is wildly varied. As I've said, I do a lot of OT, operational technologies work. So I do a lot of very non-standard IT work. You see things like RMF or other kind of frameworks are really well built for things like laptops, printers, your standard IT equipment. The equipment I work on tends to be really non-standard: robots, power distribution systems, the things that control your red lights. They're getting a lot more attention, but within that industry, you have a really big mix. Some people see the CEH as, a certification of you know what you're doing, and that gets you your foot in the door, kind of like I had mentioned previously. Other people look at the CEH, and this is how I tend to look at it myself, more as you know how to do these things, and you know how to do them the correct way. It's one thing to be able to pull up some scripts and do some hacking and do something fun and interesting. It's something else entirely to understand how to do it the correct way, how to do it legally, and how to make sure that you're doing it for the actual benefit of an organization. So the CEH has helped me in a lot of different ways in my career. It isn't the only factor in it. A lot of it has also been the kind of work that I've done, but it goes hand in hand. A lot of the work that I've done, I wouldn't have been able to do without the CEH. Some of that work would be initially just getting that kind of recognition from the IT department back when I worked at Polaris, getting their kind of nod of approval to continue to do some of the work I was doing there, which ended up growing into me starting to do actual government contracting work, which required the CEH to be able to legally perform the type of actions and work that I was doing. So the biggest impact that the CEH certification process itself did was getting me to really kind of study things like the laws and how to actually write like rules of engagement and how to actually get those things properly defined. One thing I've come across many times in my career is customers don't always know. They don't know how to define those kind of things. They say, oh, we want you to, test this widget. I tend to test a lot of devices as opposed to like websites or programs. So they'll give me some widget and say, oh, we want you to test this. And the process of going through and getting the CEH helped me to really be able to kind of define to them, okay, what's my scope? What's my limitations? Because giving me just this widget, if it's something connected to the internet per se, I might have to consider, what about all of the other widgets that it connects to? Are those within my scope? Learning how to ask and define those types of questions has been a direct impact that I've gained from the CEH process. So I've had a lot of different community projects that I'd like to do. Unfortunately, the truth of it is a lot of the projects I had lined up were going to be in 2020. With coronavirus and COVID-19 coming, a lot of the community projects and community outreach things I was planning on doing regarding cybersecurity did not come into fruition. And there wasn't a good way for us to translate those on short notice because the company I was working for at the time actually instead had an initiative to try and retool all of our facilities to producing equipment to help people deal with the impact of coronavirus. That was making masks or bodysuits for the hospital staff, anything like that. So in a way, I did have community outreach, but it was the stuff that would have been more directly from the CEH ended up having to be canceled. My favorite part of the CEH program, again, was for me getting that validity of doing things the right way. I had already built through my own work, either hacking on my own or my own hobbyist kind of hacking, just making things, do things for fun. And just the nature of working in control systems and with operational technologies, a lot of that kind of hands-on hacking, so to speak, was not as appealing to me. What really helped me again was that learning how to define proper tests, learning how to walk customers through, whether internal or external, walking them through the process of defining what it is that you're actually hacking. What are your goals? What are the deliverables from this? I really enjoyed being able to get that skill and share that with my company and the teams that I've been working with. So, as I've kind of alluded to, getting the CEH certification is a large part of being able to do certain type of government contracts. Some DoD contracts just require, there's a small handful of certifications that they just absolutely require, and the CEH is one of them. So that directly has been a major part of my success, and I attribute that to the hard work of the folks at the EC Council. They put a lot of work into getting these certifications set up, getting the purpose of those certifications explained to the right decision makers in government and in industry. So kudos to getting that set up and getting a program set up that benefited myself and those industries.